program. We're trying to take homeless families and reestablish them in sailboats so that they become more self-sufficient and independent in their living. Plus the cost.
You get to see things that normal, like, you know, well-to-do people probably never get to
And then on top of that, harbor fees, you know what I mean, docking fees are only $150 a month in Florida versus $450 to $600 to $800 a month for an apartment, depending on what you're trying to get. If you're getting a little tiny travel trailer no bigger than that SUV, then you're gonna pay like $450 a month for something that small. You know, a studio apartment in Tampa is $1,000. Whereas if we take sailboats that people can't afford anyway, right? They can't afford their sailboats. So we approach them with a tax receipt saying, look, we'll give you full value, private business owners, stuff like that. We give you full value at the end of the year for a tax credit of $5,000 to $10,000 to donate your vessel to our program. They're donating vessels that aren't even run down. They're not even dilapidated. Like, they're saleable right there on the spot. They're donating brand new boats basically to this program, to Mama Frog and Frog Ministries down in Edgewater, and we're reassigning them to homeless families with children, and putting them on boats, and then we're prepaying their docking fees for 6 months by working a deal out with the local docks because they're private business owners too. So if we offer them a tax receipt for services rendered, they accept it also. You know what I mean? So we're getting free docking, free boats, putting families on them. We're getting free equipment, gear, supplies to retrofit all the boats, you know, put sails on them, everything, and it's all free based on tax donations. You know, and that's where we're going to. That's how we're going to get our vessels also, because my wife just had a baby, and Mama Frog was like, well, it's ridiculous that you helped us set up this program, and I traveled, backpacked up and down the East Coast networking with presidents of yacht clubs and like private boat owners and stuff all over the place, and you don't have a boat, and now you have a baby. And she's like, you need to get over here and get a boat for yourself, you know? So we were like, awesome, that's great, you know? And then on top of that, we also have a side program set up with the Red Cross for relief aid distribution, so that if you want to, you can also sign a contract with the Red Cross. They'll provide all of your supplies, materials to retrofit your boat, and sails for up to 1 year after you sign the contract, but you're required that you're on call, so that if they need to deliver like life straws to Africa or grain or seed to Haiti, stuff like that, they're using sailboats. That way it's lower overhead for them, you know what I mean? And it helps the people who have the boats also. You know what I'm saying? Because then you don't have to pay $1,000 for one sail, because it's ridiculous. Like, sails are super expensive, you know? And it takes an average about 14 different types of sails to adequately run a sailboat. You know, especially a 30-foot or a 36-foot sailboat. You know, you need a variety of sails. You need genoas, jibs, you know what I mean? There's mainsails, there's all kinds of stuff you need. Line, all this stuff's expensive. It costs like $3 a foot for the line, for the ropes, for all the rigging. You know, and the average vessel is about 300 to 400 feet. So, I mean, you're talking about expensive stuff, but they're just donating it. Like, they want to help. So the East Coast is really live right now with that. So, you know, you were talking about your program, but that's the program that Ruff Ridas have. And we're down for like trying to network programs together. You know,
merging to get it as big as it can.
And it's not even about being big, because we want each person to still be grassroots.
Efficient.
We still want people to be grassroots, right? But we want to network them together so that if for some reason there is a family in Austin or somewhere here in Texas that can't get to the coastline, and they don't want a house like that, they want a boat, you know, they want to live on a vessel, and they want to become entrepreneurs, maybe even go to Mexico, buy sugar, coffee, things like that, and then bring it over here with just a simple peddler's license, and then you can retail it or wholesale it to another company. Private goods, things they can't get all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you can get Cuban sugar in Mexico. It's Cuban sugar, and it's really good, high quality. You pay a lot of money for it over here, you know, but you get it with a Mexican tax stamp on it. You can bring it over here and retail it or wholesale it for 4 or 5 times as much as you paid for it, by the pound. You know, and you're talking about holding, you know, 5 tons worth of sugar in your cargo space of a vessel. You're talking about a lot of money, and very low overhead going to Mexico buying it, like almost nothing. You know, a couple $100 to buy you, you know, a substantial amount of sugar or coffee or tobacco, and then you can bring it over here and wholesale it. And all it takes is a tax receipt from your local county that you plan on wholesaling it in. And the tax receipts, tax ID numbers are only like $60 every 3 months in Florida. So you pay 60 bucks for 3 months worth of being able to wholesale products.
Are you guys cool with like kind of going over a little bit more like what you're talking about at the beginning, but maybe we go over here to this other little area and I drop a mic to spend like a couple more minutes and tell us more about your Rough Riders event?
No problem at all.
Right on.